What's up, boys and girls? Happy 4th of July to you guys. Thank you guys all for joining us. I know you guys got a lot of stuff to do today, but while you guys are waiting, I know you already waited a little bit. I figured, you know what? We need to kick it off with some music, and whatever way to celebrate America than some Doobie Brothers.
I'll start. 1, 2, ready.
And that's how you get a July 4th barbecue started. You know what I'm saying?
That's the best way to do it, man.
Yeah, shout out to, hey, man, really appreciate you guys joining us. We weren't really going to go live today, but you know what? We had to do it or else, you know, somebody's going to steal our stuff because it's based off of one of Mikey's scoops. So we figured we'd do it a little bit earlier before it gets dark and fireworks start going off. And you guys are, you know, hopefully you can take a break from your barbecue like me, been day drinking and doing whatnot. So we're just going to take 30 minutes out of your day. Shout out to Nemesis Prime and Otto holding it down with the wrench. Shout out to all you guys. If you're having a great July 4th and you love America, hit that thumbs up. Damn it. Come on now, America. Fuck yeah. Yeah, the only time where, you know, people lose fingers for their love of their country. So I don't know about you, Mike, in Seattle, but around in Southern California, for the last 2 days, fireworks have been going off. They're not even legal. in LA County and Orange County, it doesn't stop people. They light fireworks like it sounds like Iraq out there. It's crazy. And normally we'll let it go, but sometimes it'll go to midnight, which is okay. This is getting ridiculous. This is getting crazy. But for those who live in like bigger cities, no, people don't drive to go see fireworks. They light their own off. It's crazy, man. But shout out to all you guys in the live chat. Mikey Sutton, how you doing, man?
Doing well, man. You know, it's been really quiet up here, actually. The fireworks stopped about 1 o'clock in the morning. That was it.
Yeah, wait till so they'll start up again about what 7 o'clock.
Laid back Seattle. Shout out to Richard Blade, the KROQ legend icon, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, for putting me on this official Facebook last night. Really appreciate that.
The great Richard Blade. For those young bucks who don't know, he was kind of like the godfather of what we consider new wave, modern rock, ska that came out in the 80s. I've been following him since his days of MV3, which was a video show that showed like here, let me test your knowledge. Here, I'm going to really bring you back, Mikey. Do you remember a song called I Eat Cannibal?
Yes, by Toto Coelho.
Yes, I did. That video first appeared on MV3, and then they did another track called Dracula Tango. And I met Richard,
deep cut.
I'm telling you, hey, me and you, we all about the music, man. That's why I play music on the show. So Richard Blade was DJing a gig at one of my little my malls around here. And I was like, that's Richard Blade. And I got, hey. And it was so cool. He was in the middle of DJing his 80s like new wave set. And he took a picture of me and I posted it on your Facebook wall.
That's awesome. Like, my worlds collide, man. I didn't have no idea.
No, because, like I'm a hip hop, like freestyle, breakbeat guy, but I love like synth wave from like the 80s, like Yaz, New Order, Depeche Mode, all that kind of stuff. Man. And I also love like second, third wave ska music as well. So Mike, you gotta like comics, you gotta dabble in a little bit of everything.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
And he and I share the same birthday. We were both born May 23rd, so just find very interesting. So.
Oh, before we get we're just getting carried away. We could probably talk about music for like
I know,
3 hours, to be honest. We're going to do another show called Lords of the Music Box.
Dude, let's do it.
Lords of the Jukebox. Lords of the Jukebox or Boombox. There we go. We're just going to talk about.
We got to do one.
And no music.
Fun, man. Seriously.
No music past 2000, to be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not worth it.
This show is sponsored by our friends over at coverprice.com. Use the discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off any KRS Comics exclusive, boys and girls. There's a big one dropping tomorrow. If you've been following KRS Comics, you already know. Department of Truth variant is dropping tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Use your discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off. Guess what that is an homage to? That is an homage to the Matina variant. This is by, I think his name is Kirill Repin. I don't know how to say his name, but it's an homage to this Matina Gamora cover that just absolutely blew up. So make sure you check it out. Also, head over to KRS Comics today. They have, I think, 20 to 25% off all their back issues for the July 4th weekend. So today is the last day, so make sure you hit them up. Unfortunately, the discount code doesn't work for that since you're already getting like 20, 25% off. But Monday, use that discount code to get this Department of Truth because Department of Truth is super, super hot right now. But hey, you guys came here for this, man. So before we get into these characters that what I'm going to do, Mikey, is I'm going to read your scoop. I'm going to share the page. And so that way people get context of, what we're talking about here. Let me see. Share. And all your darn ad pop-ups, Mikey. He's killing me. Okay. Oops, I got to take this out. All right. So this is from the Geekosity mag the geekositymag.com, written by Mikey, and the subject is Doctor Strange spinoff headed to Disney Plus. And I'll read you this verbatim because it'll make more sense once we get into it. So, Brother Voodoo will conjure his own TV series on Disney Plus. He has spun off from the Doctor Strange sequel into the Multiverse of Madness. However, he probably won't be called Brother Voodoo. In 2009, Brian Michael Bendis changed his name to Doctor Voodoo in New Avengers number 53. So you might want to pick that up as a spec book, by the way. Marvel Comics switched the appellation. Did I say that right? Is it appellation? The appellation, whatever, for two reasons. First, he replaced Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. Second, they saw Brother Voodoo as dated, cheesy, and potentially offensive. I mean, yeah, brother. I've always said if they ever do a Brother Voodoo show, it's not going to be called Brother Voodoo because that's like blaxploitation. But it doesn't matter because he became Doctor Voodoo in the comics anyway, and he's basically a witch doctor, so it kind of makes sense, Doctor Voodoo, right? Anyway. Brother Voodoo reflects the early 70s roots in blaxploitation movies like director William Crane's driving classic Blackula. Oh my God, I love that film. For Marvel Studios, the alteration enables the general public to associate the character with Doctor Strange. It makes sense, right? Because if you say Brother Voodoo, they're like, who's that? They say Doctor Voodoo, they say Doctor Voodoo, Doctor Strange. Anyway, moreover, from a marketing perspective, it's gold. An insider explained that Marvel Studios will introduce him as the Black Doctor Strange. In addition, the source added that once Benedict Cumberbatch hangs up the cape. Need to correct you, Mikey. It's a cloak. Dr. Voodoo will take his place. Comic fans speculated the arrival of Brother Voodoo since 2016's Doctor Strange. In that film, Mark Anthony Brighton played Brother Voodoo's brother, Daniel Drum. He was the master that ran the New York Sanctum Sanctorum that was killed by Caecilius. Brother Voodoo is Jericho Drum. His brother is Daniel Drum, I do believe, right? Yeah. Did I just say that? Yeah, okay. Anyway, furthermore, he debuted in Strange Tales number 169 in 1973. I have a feeling that book's going to pop up a couple times on this, by the way. Writer Stan Lee, Len Wein, Roy Thomas, and artist John Romita Sr. co-created the supernatural hero. In the comics, Jericho and Daniel Drum are twins. Jericho is a psychologist. He returned to his homeland of Haiti to help his ailing brother. The voodoo sorcerer placed a deadly spell on Daniel. He dies, and Jericho promises to visit his mentor, Papa Jumbo. I wonder if he'll be on the long-term spec list. Afterward, Jericho begins practicing voodoo. The twin soulmates combine. This is the variant that I have, which is dope. It's called the Doctor Voodoo variant. It's an homage to the Doctor Strange #1 by Frank Bruner. After Jambo passes away, Jericho becomes Brother Voodoo. There's no doubt that Marvel Studios will slightly tweak his origin to fit within the MCU continuity. Sources add that Brother Voodoo will cross over into other Disney Plus series like Moon Knight. However, this isn't the first attempt at bringing Brother Voodoo to television. In 2003, the Sci-Fi Channel announced a Brother Voodoo TV movie. Thank God they didn't do it, because back in 2003, Sci-Fi originals were awful. It was like Sharknado type level of budget. Even worse. Yeah, now it's a bit better if you think about it, but in 2003, if this word Sci-Fi original came out, you're like, oh, that's the kiss of death. But they dumped the project. Moreover, the network junked the subsequent series as well. Also, insiders revealed Dr. Voodoo is planned to join the Midnight Suns on Hulu with Punisher, Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, and Blade. Dr. Voodoo will debut in Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. Marvel Studios has not announced any casting for it yet. So that's where that is coming. This list is coming up. Now, Mikey, tell them, because last week we talked about it and I teased it briefly that it was going to be on Hulu. Have you heard on why the change from Hulu over to Disney Plus?
Yeah, because this is a cannonball, I guess.
Oh shit! Here we go. You guys ready for your first You know what? It's only apropos that you have cannonballs on the because Francis Scott Key, when he was singing it was cannonball. Anyway, it's just American history.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Cannonball!
Yeah, so there's two reasons why they decided to put this on Disney Plus. Number one is it's going to spin off from Doctor Strange, which is PG-13. That's one of the main reasons why, because they want to get that PG-13 audience to watch this. This is basically Doctor Strange on TV. It's essentially what it's going to be. But it'll be the dark tone that Multiverse will have, though. And secondly, they really want Benedict to make a guest appearance on the show.
Yeah.
And they're not going to have Doctor Strange on an R-rated show, so it's just simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, And you can do dark PG-13. I mean, there's
Yeah.
horror movies that are PG-13. Drag Me to Hell was a great. By the way, it was a Sam Raimi film too. By the way, and
Yeah.
who's directing Into the Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah, perfect.
Sam Raimi, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Drag Me to Hell was a rated PG-13 movie, and it was a great scary flick, I think. Marvel No Prize to go out to anybody who knows what this T-shirt is from. Anyway,
But
so
but
there you
don't
go.
forget
So
the Strange Academy spin-off that we scooped a while back. I mean, this is going to tie in with that. That's also on Disney Plus.
So what do you think is going to come out first, the Doctor Voodoo series or the Strange Academy series?
I'm hearing is Doctor Voodoo will be first, and then
Okay.
that will lead into Strange Academy, which makes sense like his teacher there.
Exactly. Yeah, because they already planted the seeds for Young Avengers. I'm pretty sure they have to plant the seeds for all the characters in Strange
Yep.
Academy, which tonally it will be totally different too, because it's got a bunch of kind of Harry Potter set in the MCU. But so these are characters that Kevin Feige has
Yeah.
his research department researching for a Doctor Voodoo series on Disney Plus for multiple seasons, correct? They never just planned it for one season, right?
This is from multiple seasons. Yeah. This
Yeah.
is
I think the first, I want to call it phase one of Disney Plus Marvel. I think most of those are one and done. We'll just kind of draw the characters in. Maybe Falcon Winter Soldier will progress with a different Falcon, but there won't be another WandaVision series. Loki is one and done also, right? He's dead. Spoiler alert. But maybe he can be on another variant or something. Nobody truly ever dies, right? So, all right, so let's get right to it, man. First up, we'll try to give you the list of characters Mike gave me, and I researched the comics that their first appearances are and try to help you out to navigate. So get your pens and paper out. These are the comics to look out for if you're specking for a brother, or I'm going to keep on confusing myself when saying this. I'm just going to say a Voodoo show, a Doctor Voodoo show. The most obvious one. Jericho Drum. Strange Tales number 169. I'm going to throw up some sales graphics here and there if it's necessary, just to give you an idea on where this book's been moving. This is $2,800 for a CGC 9.4 on July 2nd. That is a 9.4, boys and girls. And this book is not hard to get in high grade. Is hard to get in high grade, excuse me. But ever since I think Doctor Strange #1, when they saw Daniel Drum and they saw him in the end credits, they immediately we keep on telling you on this show and on our other shows, Marvel just doesn't use character names for no reason at all, right? Every character on the MCU shows has like a tie to a comic book. So this is the most obvious one. There is going to be some really cool, interesting books on here, and I hope you guys can find it. They're relatively cheap, but they're also you're not going to find them anywhere. First of all, we have Cagliostro. Dracula Lives, Volume 2, #1 is his first appearance, and he has a very interesting history in the Marvel 616 as far as it comes to magic. He's actually Doctor Doom went back in time and Cagliostro, god damn it, because you remember in Doctor Strange there was also the Book of Cagliostro, I do believe. And I keep on butchering that name, but Doctor Doom went back in time. He time traveled to learn magic from him. This is when Doctor Doom was trying to figure out how to get his mom's soul out of hell. And also Cagliostro has ties to Dracula and the Darkhold. Do you see where we're going here, boys and girls? Did you watch the last episode of Loki and that one line that should have blown everybody's mind when Kang, Mobius and Mobius said vampires? We basically now have canon that there's vampires in the MCU. Okay, so that was super cool. So Cagliostro, I don't have to say this anymore. There's some really names in here that I'm going to butcher the hell out of. So this is the back when they were doing this Charlton. It was a Marvel imprint. These are the black and white magazines. So this is Dracula Lives Volume 2, #1. So there's a couple of these on this list because Marvel was doing a lot of sub stuff on the horror side, not in their main 616. So there's some great books in there. So Cagliostro, Dracula Lives Volume 2, Number 1 is going to be on there. So it makes sense because he's a sorcerer as well, has ties to the Darkhold. I'm going to tell you what, the Darkhold keeps on coming up and up on this long-term spec list as far as characters. There's two things, Mikey, when you gave me this list and I researched it. There was a lot of vampires and there was a lot of the Darkhold in here.
Yeah, it's funny because the MCU is, as you know, you get the Darkhold is featured in WandaVision, and you know they're opening the doors for all this stuff now.
Yeah, I think Runaways too. Didn't it feature the
Yeah,
Darkhold?
it did. Yeah. Well, so Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had the Darkhold in there as well.
Yeah. The next up is one of the newest books on here, and this was a little weird one, but it kind of makes sense. The Hood is going to be appearing in the Doctor Voodoo series. The Hood's first appearance, The Hood number 1. There was a time where the Hood kind of ran into the magic world. He was just a common criminal, but he wanted to be the Sorcerer Supreme. So Dormammu was going to help him. Because Dormammu was like, okay, I'm going to give you powers to. He wanted to give magical powers to the Hood to kill Doctor Strange for him. And what ended up happening is Brother Voodoo then became the Sorcerer Supreme. But that's for another reason, though. Voodoo actually became the Sorcerer Supreme because Doctor Strange had that title stripped from him because he was dabbling in the dark magic. And I think it was like the Vishanti, whomever is the living tribunal for the magic. I think it's the Vishanti. They stripped his title of Sorcerer Supreme, and Doctor Voodoo then became Sorcerer Supreme. So that I could see that in the MCU, where they do a storyline where all of a sudden Doctor Strange is stripped from the Sorcerer Supreme. If you guys just Google it, there's been quite a few different people that held the mantle of Sorcerer Supreme while Doctor Strange was unable to do it or was stripped from it. So there you go. So Doctor Hood, the Hood, if you believe it or not, has ties to Dormammu and Doctor Strange and Doctor Voodoo. So there you go, man. Just to research it. I tell you, hey, man, I don't have all this in my head. I go out there and research it just like the rest of you guys do. So I wish I did. I wish I was that smart. All right, next up.
When I saw that name on the list, I didn't know that guy had his own book. That's crazy.
Yeah. The Hood was like there was a series where he was like, he got all the villains of the MCU together, like all of what you would consider like B-level villains together to do things. And there was even a Marvel crossover where the Hood was quite prominent in it. Some of the guys help me out in the live stream here, guys. You talk about it, but they tried to make him up to be a bigger. It was probably about 5-6 years ago, but he's still kicking around somewhere. I want to say the Hood was part of the original Sin story. Correct me if I'm wrong in the live chat. Next up, we already talked about it, is Papa Jumbo. Think of Papa Jumbo as the Ancient One to Doctor Strange, as Papa Jumbo to Jericho Drum. He basically is the one that taught voodoo magic to Jericho Drum. And obviously his first appearance is 169 too, so no need to put pricing on there. So just know there's a ton of first appearances in here that are pretty cool, man. Next up, this one is really cool. The character Varney. And look at that. First appearance, Bizarre Adventures, Volume 1, number 33. Look how cool that Marvel comic magazine is, Bizarre Adventures. And it's a photo cover of some dude with really bad fake vampire teeth. He is an interesting character too. He's a villain. Way like centuries ago, he was a human that served the cult of the Darkholders. And guess who almost killed him? King Cole. Remember King Cole, right? Remember we had Conan. Remember King Cole? Well, King Cole.
Oh my gosh, weird.
So King Cole is part of the Varney's origin. So in the origin, Varney almost gets killed by King Cole, and then there's this cult made him become a vampire, and that's why you see this kind of crazy looking. I don't know what he is. Ape. Chewbacca Wookiee type vampire type dude. So that's his first appearance. So yeah, so it sounds like he's going to be an antagonist on the show, because you do multiple seasons, you're going to have multiple villains. So so sometimes you're going to have some. This list is actually a good mix of villains and allies. A lot of times when we do a long-term spec list, it's just one villain. Or it's just one hero and it's just villain after villain after, you know what I mean? It's like Spider-Man and his Rogues Galleries, hey, there's 15 of them. All right. So Varney, his first appearance is in Bizarre Adventures, volume number 1, number 33. Just look at that picture of the comic. You never forget it. I mean, once you see it, you're like, nah, I recognize it. And that's why we do the show. And you don't see, even when we do our cover price top 10 or the shakers, you don't see our faces on here because it's not about our faces. It's about having photographic, or at least some type of photographic memory, and remembering what the book is. Remembering what the book is more important. So when you see the book, you'll be like, hey, I've seen that book talked about somewhere. Even if you're on Instagram or Facebook, when people bring up books, use that and kind of store it away. So when you're digging in them long boxes, trademark, that you'll be like, hey, somebody talked about this book. Maybe I should buy it and then research it later. You know what I mean? So there you go. Next up on the list is a pretty cool one. This is Black Talon, which is AKA Desmond Drew. First appearance is Strange Tales number 173. His history with and this, like I've been telling people for years now, this whole Strange Tales run with Brother Voodoo, I think it's 169 to 173. It's packed. It's a great story and it's great. A lot of first appearances. Black Talon was basically, and there's been multiple iterations of it, but I found this one is the one that has the most connections with Brother Voodoo. Basically, he was a fake voodoo priest in New Orleans that was exposed by Jericho Drum. I will also say, I think, did we say that the show takes place in New Orleans? So
yeah.
So Gambit is on this list. No, I'm just kidding. I was going to say that's like one of the most frequently asked questions on Letters of Long Boxes.
Always.
Yeah. Hey, look at, all right. That's why I love the live chat, man. You guys are very knowledgeable. JLS says, Varney is the first vampire made that way by Thulsa Doom and the Darkholds back in the Atlantis days. Check out the big brain on Brad.
Crazy,
yes.
yeah, remember Howard Creations mixed in with it.
Yeah, so like I told you, there's a lot of ties to the Darkhold and everything. You know, the Darkhold's not on here, but I think the Darkhold is going to continue to go on and on and on. You know, I think it's literally the anti-Bible in the MCU or at least the Book of Dark Magic or whatever you want to call it. You know,
like a satanic Bible.
Yeah. What is the Necronomicon?
Necronomicon, yeah.
There you go. I was like the Necrocomicon. Yeah. Just the Necrocom. Ooh, there you go. We're gonna start the Necrocomicon. There you go. All right. So Black Talon, Desmond Drew, Strange Tales number 173. We're almost getting there, boys and girls. All right. Next up, this one is actually interesting. This is Damballa, and actually Damballa is an actual real. A real kind of voodoo deity in the world of Louisiana and Haitian voodoo, believe it or not. So Damballa's first appearance, and it's a demon Damballa, I do believe. And the first appearance is in Avengers number 52 in a shadow only. And then Dracula Lives number 2 in a flashback. And if you probably want to do some more research, because there's like 3 iterations of it, there was another modern version of it. But that's Black. Hey, we were just talking about our buddy Black Talon. That's him on the cover right there. So with the upside down cross and everything, man, look at that.
Whoa.
So
Kirby comes like Kirby cover too.
Yeah, it was just crazy. He's got like fake chicken claws and everything. So it's just like, okay, Black Talon. All right. So Damballa. What can I tell you about Damballa? Here, you know, just. Yeah, there's multiple iterations. It's basically an elder, is a spawn of the elder god Set. Set being of Egyptian mythology. So you have those things going for it. And actually, I think that's John Buscema did the cover on that. Yeah, so it's Jerry Conway, Roy Thomas, and John Buscema. That came out in 1976. But so it's just one of those things where it's like an elder god that they go to. I know. I'm surprised, you know, it's on the dark magic side. Speaking of Dracula Lives number 2, another great cover. Love this. Oh, man,
there you go.
So the next one on the list is Marie Laveau, the Voodoo Queen of New Orleans. First appearance, Dracula Lives number 2. What's interesting about the Voodoo Queen of New Orleans is something that she has this history with that's tied to vampires as well, but more specifically, she actually has ties to Morbius, because the only reason she has ties to, she's a voodoo priestess, but she was trying to hunt down Morbius because she wanted to be immortal like vampires, because she was starting to age due to some weird spell she did. She aged rapidly. So she had this thing where she was hunting out Morbius, so she wanted his blood so she could live on forever. So now we have another tie to vampires and Morbius. I mean, it's just kind of like, I hate to say that old Marvel tagline, it's all connected, but man, I mean, it kind of is all connected, but how dope is that cover, man?
Yeah, it makes you want to go and get some Marvel magazines. I
have a ton of Marvel
nostalgic,
magazine there, and there's so many different titles too. It's like a half comic book, and then it's half editorial, half interview, half advertising. Especially like the Deadly Hands of Kung Fu magazines. You could read a story, you could buy a set of nunchucks, and then you could read an article about Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee. They were great magazines, man. They were just awesome. All right, let's get next to it. This one is the most obvious since it's taking place in New Orleans. Obviously, Cloak and Dagger. First appearance, Spectacular Spider-Man number 64. Book has cooled down quite a bit since, Hulu and didn't give Runaways and Cloak and Dagger really the bump it would. I'm kind of curious, though, now, since it's 2020, 2021, if it would get a bump now. Because you know how everything gets a bump now, regardless of where it comes from. Now, let me ask you this, and what are you hearing about the casting? Are they recasting Cloak and Dagger, or is it
Yeah,
too soon?
they will definitely be recast. So it's for like the... I like Olivia Holt. I thought she was a great, Dagger, but
Oh, the little blonde chick? Oh, yeah, she's hot. Yeah.
yeah.
Was it she in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or is that? I'm thinking about somebody else.
No, that was somebody else. That was
Okay.
Looked like her though. That was very similar. That was Cameron. I can't remember her name was.
Yeah, Doe Cameron.
Dove Cameron. Yeah.
Dove Cameron, yeah. So obviously this is already a pricey book. I did a little research. It was kind of hard to find, but go and look for the first meeting of Cloak and Dagger and Brother Voodoo. I could not find it for the life of me, but I didn't really have time to dig that further. But I think that would be a great option because, we've always talked about, first appearances are already through the roof. So get the first time these characters meet. I think that's the next spec going forward is, if you can't afford the first, second appearances, get the first time Spider-Man meets Daredevil or Moon Knight meets Iron Fist or Iron Fist meets Shang-Chi, any of those. And because that leads me right into our next one, because the next character who's on the list that's going to be on the show is Moon Knight. First meeting of Moon Knight and Brother Voodoo is number 21. In issue number 21, Moon Knight goes to New Orleans and he's like, there's some zombie plague that's fighting going on. And so Moon Knight and Brother Voodoo team up and they meet in this issue for the first time. And plus it's a dope Sienkiewicz cover. So why wouldn't you get it?
Damn.
Why wouldn't you get it? Fair Market Value is only $9.51 for a raw comic, $44.95 for, if Moon Knight does meet Doctor Voodoo. You can't afford first Moon Knight. You can't afford first Brother Voodoo. This may be the second best thing. The first meeting of Brother Voodoo and Moon Knight in the comics. Because more and more this is going to happen since we have more and more characters cross-pollinating now from Disney Plus to the movies, to Fox, to Sony. So, there you go. So there, as he said in the article, Moon Knight is going to be meeting up with Brother Voodoo, a.k.a. Doctor Voodoo. I had the last one on the list. And this one, I'd be shocked if anybody had in their long boxes. I mean, there are a couple of those magazines, but this one is really out there. This is Danny Ketch is going to be on the Doctor Voodoo Disney Plus series. Obviously, everybody knows what Danny Ketch's first appearance is, but did you know the first meeting of Brother Voodoo and Danny Ketch was Ghost Rider, Volume 3. Number 83. It's 384, 85 features Brother Voodoo. There's something in the storyline where somebody is trying to take the soul of Danny Ketch's mom. So Moon Knight and Ghost Rider and Brother Voodoo get involved to help fight whomever is trying to take the soul of Mama Ketch. So there you go, boys and girls. That's it. So we'll go run through it real quickly, man. This is what we like to call the speed round. Jericho Drum, easy one. Strange Tales, number 169. Cagliostro, Dracula Lives, Volume 2, number 1. The Hood, number 1. Papa Jumbo, Strange Tales. Oh, I misspelled Strange Tales. Nobody even told me. All right, number 169. Varney, Bizarre Adventures, Volume 1, number 33. Black Talon, the Desmond Drew version, Strange Tales, number 173. Damballa, first appearance in Shadow Only in Avengers number 152, and as a flashback in Dracula Lives number 2. Speaking of Dracula Lives number 2, that's the first appearance of Marie Laveau, the Voodoo Queen of New Orleans. First appearance, Dracula Lives number 2. Cloak and Dagger, everybody knows. Spectacular Spider-Man number 64. Moon Knight is going to be appearing. First appearance of Brother Voodoo and Moon Knight in the Moon Knight number 21. And Danny Ketch version of Ghost Rider. First meeting Brother Voodoo and Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider Volume 3, number 83. And as always, boys and girls, things are subject to change, okay? So if one of them doesn't appear and, if the show, or even if the show doesn't happen and they talk about it, this is what the early plans are, right, Mikey? What are you hearing?
Yeah, did I put a star next to the names on the list?
No, you didn't. You forgot again.
Oh, shit. Sorry about that. I forgot.
You want to tell us which characters have the red mark? So there's a thing when Mikey gets his list, they just give him a list of names and then they put a little marking next to it, meaning the priority of these characters. Who is the high priority ones?
Let me find my original list here.
All right, while you're doing that, let me shout out everybody in the live chat. Shout out to Uncanny Swag, Chuck Henze, Never Enough Comics, Empire Comics, Kid Collector, Danny Ybarra, Wesley, Prince Zodiac Sign, Lenny Cerna. Shout out JLS Comics in the house with the holding it down with the wrench. Anybody say where the origin of my shirt came from yet? Come on, guys. You guys know this. Come on. Pork chop sandwiches. Get the fuck out of here. Pork chop sandwiches. Guys, long-term spec list, you don't have to put the numbers, but go ahead, man.
Okay, so Daniel Drum.
Okay, so Daniel Drum, which is Strange 69, Strange Tales 169, is definitely have a red mark to it. Daniel Drum is
Papa Jumbo.
Papa Jumbo, unfortunately. Strange Tales 169 as well, because that's basically the Jericho Drum, the origin story. So you got to have all of them in there.
Yeah.
Who else?
Black Talon.
Black Talon. So all these characters have a high priority to be researched. So the more higher probability of them being on the season, or at least season 1. And the other characters might appear in other seasons.
Damballa.
Damballa.
Okay. Marie Laveau.
Ah, good, because I love this comic.
And the last 4 all have red marks on them. Cloak and Dagger.
So there you go.
Bamboo.
I didn't even talk about Bamboo, but Bamboo is also in Strange Tales 169. Because if I would have done that, Strange Tales 169 would have been on this list like 5 times. But it's just
That's a hard book, man. Moon Knight and Danny Ketch, they're all have red marks on them. So
yeah,
if you love these characters, there's a 90% chance you're going to see them on the show.
Yeah, and I think the casting, they have to nail on this, right? They have to get this spot on perfectly. Especially, see Doctor Strange 1, maybe Doctor Strange, maybe Benedict Cumberbatch does 3 films and he's out of here. I don't know, however long it'll be. But, but Sorcerer Supreme has been a title held by many. I do believe Scarlet Witch. A lot of people have vied for it. Just Google Sorcerer Supreme on the Marvel Weekend. You can see all the different people that have held the title of Sorcerer Supreme. I wish Cumberbatch would just do it forever because he was literally the perfect Doctor Strange when they cast him.
He's might be too old now, but Denzel Washington would have been my choice for Doctor Voodoo. I think he would have been just amazing.
I was going to say Mahershala Ali, but he's already Blade.
Yeah, I know he's already Blade, but...
Because I'm also trying to think of, they're probably from somebody from Louisiana or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Here's a way out casting, though, that I think could work. What's his name? Show Me the Money.
Oh, God, from Jerry Maguire?
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah.
Cuba Gooding Jr. as Brother Voodoo. Make it happen right now. Right? give the man a job. It's been a while since we've seen Cuba Gooding Jr. But
yeah, I know, right?
There's a ton of young actors they could go for. And the thing about now is the cliche of superhero films is no longer there. Come on.
Nope.
We're talking Robert Redford, Michael Douglas. We're talking all these great Oscar-nominated.
Yeah.
Fucking Helen Mirren is in Fast and Furious films. That blows my mind. That absolutely blows my mind that Helen Mirren is in, and that last Fast 9 movie is absolutely drivel. Well, I don't know if it's bad just so much as it's like, oh my God, did they purposely make it to be this ridiculously it's just it's just way out there, the action, because I think each movie kind of ramps it up, the level of action that it goes through, and you're just like yeah, whatever. Well, it's kind of interesting, but yeah, anyway. You know what, we got like 10 minutes to give people until they give people back their January 4th or July 4th. We can do a quick letters alarm box and see if there's any questions in the live chat.
Yeah, also I want to mention Sil Abdul, say hi to Sil out there, co-host on Rogues Gallery and Geekosity Live. He mentioned Loki writers writing Doctor Strange too, which
that's right, yeah,
has me really everything he's doing seems to be multiverse related, right? So I find it fascinating that he's writing Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie. This guy's all about plot twists and deceptions and
I think
storytelling, you know.
But that's the Feige formula, though. When he works with people that does well, he has them do a lot. If you look at what the Russo brothers started with Captain America, then Endgame, Taika Waititi, I mean, once the guy, what's the guy that did Ant-Man? When he finds good directors and he thinks it's a perfect marriage, and now it's almost like I think we made this comparison in the past where Disney Plus is like the AAA farm system. Yeah. And they do well in there. They get the call up to the big leagues. You know what I mean? So I'm going to answer this because we'll let you answer this since this has been asked so many times, but I don't know why.
I'll get those Gambit again.
No, it's we see Multiple Man coming anytime soon. I'm assuming
they're defined soon as in 2 years from now.
Next 10 years.
This is Jamie Madrox, right? He's talking about
the mutant. I think Jamie Madrox.
They're planning an X Factor project. He's going to show up.
There you go.
He might take like 4 or 5 years so.
Yeah, let's not call him Multiple Man though. That's an awful name. We'll just go with Jamie Madrox.
Madrox.
Yeah. I haven't heard this. Is Loki really losing viewers and ratings? I haven't heard that. Nah. Everybody's saying it's the best Disney Plus Marvel show so far. So
be careful of data being twisted by anti-Disney people out there. Is all I will say.
It's the same thing with the people. It's people who are trying to knock down Snyder Cut numbers. It's like it's tribalism. It's just like it's doing well. And the thing about Netflix, HBO Max, and Disney Plus is they don't have to release the numbers.
Wait, Insider was texting me while you were doing the show. They watch this. They watch me. Still,
hi, Insider.
Me watch. Anyway, wanted me to say that Loki will be running for multiple seasons. So. Yeah.
Here we go, boys and girls. So we're gonna get Loki going through the time stream. You heard it here from. I should have done a cannonball. We got 2 episodes left. So or is it? Wait, 1 or 2 episodes? 2 episodes left, right? What was the last episode? 4 or 5?
There's 2 more, I believe.
Yeah, it's 2 more. So I could totally see like Loki just going through the time stream timeline or taking over the TVA or, battling more because, it's just like, man, this is the series that they could have done more than 6 episodes, I think.
Oh, yeah, there's much potential here. They can go just really crazy. You basically go through the multiverse with Loki.
Yeah. Here we go. This is one that's pretty easy, I think. Will Man-Thing be part of a Weapons Plus Weapon X or Weapons Plus project?
Man-Thing is coming. Man-Thing will be with Midnight Suns.
Yeah, so that's part of the whole supernatural thing. Do you think they're holding off on Man-Thing because of Swamp Thing, just because of the comparison of the two?
No, it's Feige. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, right.
Screw you all. I'll do it better.
Exactly, yeah.
This is the mentality of the 90s Chicago Bulls, right? That's exactly.
I don't know where you're getting that 60,000 viewer drop from the first to third episode since they don't release numbers, but, it's also true of just TV in itself. Anytime something premieres, people are going to watch it immediately, and then, after a while.
And where is the context of that? Because they've been showing the episodes weekly, and at a certain point, people are just going to sit and watch the last few episodes and binge it all. Yeah. Because you have to think about that as well. So.
And when you say, and 60,000 doesn't have any context, because if it's 1,060,000 viewers, and it dropped
Yeah,
to
I
1
know,
million.
right?
You know what I mean? It's like, where are you getting 60,000 from? In context, that doesn't really mean. So,
Yeah, I know, it doesn't mean shit,
yeah.
You know
Let
what
me,
it is? Okay, let me tell you what's going on here. The reason why they're saying they're twisting it like that, I haven't seen the numbers myself, but the reason why they're twisting it like that is that the anti-Disney people are saying they lost viewers because Loki said he was bi.
oh, it's those.
Like,
Okay.
you know what? I saw that. I completely forgot about it. I didn't really care. Like, so what? You know?
Yeah, it didn't even dawn on me. It was just such a one-liner. I was
Yeah.
like, so what? He's Loki. He's a freak anyway. But
All I'm thinking about was, oh my god, Annihilation's coming, right?
yeah,
That was
exactly.
it.
The entire thing, I was like, vampires. That's all I was thinking about. Vampires. I was like, who cares about that other shit? Disney Plus has over 100 million subscribers. So if a quarter of them watched Loki, that's 25 million. If it's only 60,000 drop, that is zeros. I forget. I won't do the math.
Basically, you're trying to say that they lost viewers because Loki is bi. I mean, like, really? Who cares?
No,
Yeah.
I mean critical reaction and everything else is fine. It's people want to take everything minutia and blow it up, but
Yeah.
it's like just like Mandalorian was coming on. I remember how popular it was because I couldn't get in to see the first episode. It kept on crashing.
Oh yeah, that was a nightmare.
Yeah. Here we go. This is a good one. We'll be seeing British heroes like Captain Britain, Spitfire, or Union Jack. Jesus Christ,
man.
Spitfire. They went golden age on us, right?
Invaders flashback here.
Yeah.
Captain Britain, yes. I'm not sure about Spitfire or Union Jack yet. God, I wish.
I think, yeah. They got to have because Captain Britain is like, he's not really the Captain America version because he's really powerful and has things to do with like magic and time and different dimensional powers, whereas Union Jack is kind of more closer to Captain America, where they're not like super powered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's not forget that, or in case any of you don't know, 616 debuted in Captain Britain. Alan Moore created the 616.
That's right. Yeah,
it was in Captain Britain. So
yeah.
Oh, he's definitely coming. Well, Excalibur project that we scooped a long time ago.
Yeah. Speaking of which, there you go. Nightcrawler and Excalibur. Yes, it's coming.
Yes.
This isn't always a recurring question on here. Let's just get this out of the way.
It wouldn't shock me if Loki is tied into Excalibur somehow with the way his show is going. I mean,
well, if you think about the Captain Britain core, aren't they interdimensional cops of some sort?
In a way, kind of TVA-ish in a way, right? So
exactly. I mean, put it this: the TVA is such a minute. The TVA It was such a small story, and the only reason the comic is hot now because of Loki. But after that, you haven't seen much of the TVA. I mean, nowadays it's other things like the Captain Britain Corps was rather large in policing, I guess, interdimensional crimes or I want to say interdimensional, but you might as well just say multiverse, right? Because I mean that's the new big thing. But question is asked a lot too. Any chance we'll see the Red Hulk anytime soon?
Yeah, let's not forget TVA was debuted in Fantastic Four.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Red Hulk is coming because the Thunderbolts are coming, and if any of you were specking on that book years ago, hold on to them because there's no stopping at Thunderbolts now.
Yeah.
And they held off on it for a long time because remember, Tiva, you and I were debunking rumors back then. Because for two reasons. Number one, the one I was born was a big one. And secondly, Kevin Feige didn't want to do a villains movie. Well, he's got Disney Plus now. Yeah. So it's different. You didn't have that back then. So
yeah, and I think it can be tweaked too to where they're not truly chaotic evil, right? For Disney Plus. I can answer this one. Has Marvel decided if the MCU is 616 or are we still sticking with 19? Yeah, no. For the continuity of how they separate, just like Disney does with Star Wars, the 616 will always be the main continuity of the comic books, and the MCU characters are considered 1999999, something like that. 199,999. That every universe has its own. Like the Ultimate Universe has a number. This is for them to distinguish the two, and I don't think that's going to overtake. 616 will always be the 616. I mean, even I think there's a Disney Plus show called 616 where they talk about the comic books, which is awesome, by the way. This is interesting since we're going to see Black Widow next week. Is Taskmaster still going to be in the Thunderbolts? I didn't even. Did we have?
I haven't heard. I mean,
yeah, but you did. You did hear that Taskmaster is coming back or no? Because Black Widow spoilers in here, by the way.
Yeah, I did hear Taskmaster is coming back. So.
Yeah, so I'm going to see it Friday, hopefully.
Because he will be teaming up with Deadpool. Is one of the plans that they have for him to show.
And there is a history of that in the comics too.
Yeah,
Deadpool and Taskmaster. So there you go. My man Gay B asks, I love this question because he's a dope character. Any chance we'll see Deathlock in the future?
Yeah,
and I think yes. Yeah, we had him on a long-term spec list.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I forgot what show was for, but yeah, we definitely have Deathlock is coming to. It was a Disney Plus series, I believe. It may.
Yep, it was. Yeah. Deathlock is. One of those big budget shows that they.
Yeah, you couldn't do Deathlock right on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He needs more CGI. Maybe not as much. Yeah, Cyborg has a little bit too much, but yeah. Definitely more human than Cyborg because the Cyborg that's on the Snyder Cut is just like maybe half a face and the rest is just weird like Transformers on him. But like I really like Cyborg on Titans. I like that version of Cyborg to me. I love that version of Cyborg. Don't overdo it and make him but you got to make him more powerful. All right.
How revolutionary was Deathlock when he first came out? Basically, the Terminator ripped him off. I mean.
Exactly, yeah.
We can't read comic books. I mean, it's a Terminator.
Yeah. Too bad they couldn't do more with them on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., man. So,
yeah, I know.
Here's an interesting one that we have always talked about, and I think you could probably shed some light on. Does Spider-Woman belong to Disney or Sony? I think the better question would be, who owns Spider-Woman and who owns Jessica Drew? I think would probably be the better question, but I'll let you answer that, Mikey.
So Sony owns Spider-Woman. But Marvel has Jessica Drew. So there is going to be a challenging prospect there when she hits the silver screen, which is why the Spider-Woman film will be an MCU movie because Marvel has to get involved. And besides, Spaggy likes Jessica Drew anyway. He wanted to do something with her character before.
Yeah, so if Marvel wants to use Spider-Woman, they need Sony's permission, correct?
Yeah.
But Sony can use Jessica Drew and Spider-Woman.
Mm-hmm. They can't have her high evolutionary roots or use the shield or use her Hydra origins or anything like that. Marvel can use Jessica Drew anytime they want to. They just can't make her Spider-Woman.
Yeah. Yeah, and she has quite the history as part of being more of a she was part of Hydra and then she was part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So there we go. It's 4:00. We're almost done, man. So they're gonna use Julie Carpenter. We had Julie Carpenter on the long-term spec list. So there could be multiple versions of Spider-Woman as there is in the comics. So Spider-Woman, that one, Spider-Girl, there's another one and from the What If comics. So that's fortunately Sony has a limited roster of what they could use without, whereas Marvel can use whatever they want, but outside with Sony's permission, and Sony would be more than happy to give them permission, right? But Feige would be like, why would I give another studio some shine when I don't need to, right? When I have my own characters.
Yeah, and the thing is, they both want to work with each other more. So, No Way Home is just the beginning of a new relationship between them. So be very excited.
Yeah, well, I'm also curious to see Silk on Amazon Prime and how that's gonna. Because I don't know if you read that where they talked about the Silk origins were going to be changed from what it was from the comic books, where she's tied into the Peter Parker more. Have you heard anything about these? Silk series that's coming on Amazon?
It's purely a Sony thing, is what I'm hearing now. Mainly because it's on Amazon and Sony wanted the cash, so which is why they took it to Amazon instead. But that's fine because Feige's gonna do their own silk. So,
Really?
yeah.
There you go. They're gonna have 2 versions of Silk. Because I mean, it's almost. I wish they would just wait off and be like, "Hey, Marvel, let's do a Silk show together," as opposed to just Silk on Amazon Prime. Then you kind of there will be no ties because they can't use Spider-Man on Amazon Prime. That's a Marvel thing, right? I mean, that's if Marvel's not going to allow them to say, we're going to let you use Tom Holland on Amazon Prime and Netflix for something because, Sony doesn't have their own streaming platform. So they're kind of, farming it out. They farmed it out to Amazon or Netflix or whomever. So there you go, man. So, hey, we're going to cut out now so we can enjoy the rest of our 4th of July. It's getting dark in some places. Make sure you guys stay safe. Happy 4th of July. Hey, man, and don't lose any fingers, man. It's not worth it, okay? Remember, just use a short fuse or send one of your kids to light the fuse. Then you can still have your fingers. They're young enough. They can grow their fingers back. All right, boys and girls. Till next time, keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out. Say bye, Mikey.
Say hello, guys. Hey, one more thing before I go. So we're going to do a Scoop Jam a couple of weeks from now. Me and T and a bunch of other YouTube channels. And I just want to give you a little tease right now. Don't have the exact date yet, but it'll involve a character many of you have been asking me about for 3 years. And he will be in the Scoop Jam. I'm even going to tell Tebow who it is, because I want to get the shock look on his face.
Yeah, I don't even know yet. What kind of powers does he have?
You guess it immediately.
Oh, damn it. All right, there you go, boys. Scoop Jam coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Yep, we'll do. Take care.
All right. Peace out, everybody. Have a happy 4th.
Now let's do this. Rewind, select and come again. Pull up that from the top to the very last. Jump.
Who are you to make their lives bitter in hard bondage? In this you shall know that the Lord is upstate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, do it. We're here. We're back.
Let's do a job. You can't get fresher than this.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 5 greatest heroes. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
When it comes, I won't even notice.